Audio's kicked in. Here we are once again.
Oh,
Oh, here we
wait.
go. Hey, hey, welcome, folks. It's another episode of DrawBomb, the show where we draw pictures. And let me tell you what, there is not a lot of artistic value or merit to them.
What?
Museums will not be putting these arts in their galleries.
Well, you're just not optimistic about how tragically you'll die.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
If you die tragically enough, they will use what you've created.
If I get into that awesome hippo accident like I've been hoping, I mean, fuck.
I'd buy that guy's art. Guy who got smashed by a hippo.
Damn, that's the dude who got eaten by a bunch of hippos on his OnlyFans. Damn.
I'm gonna hang his work on. You know, it's a statement piece. It starts a conversation. People come over and they're like, "Is that by the hippo guy?" You go,
That's
"Why? Yes, it is."
By Mr. Hippo OnlyFans.
King
That's,
hippo.
you know, we make jokes, but there is actually somebody on the internet who is famous for dying by animal.
There's many, I think.
I'm sure there are many, but I think of one.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one who got fucked to death by a horse, obviously.
I was worried that that's who you were thinking about.
Yes, that's who I was thinking. I don't
mean,
think
that's
anyone...
exactly where my mind went when you said that, unfortunately. I'd like to say that that's not how my brain is wired, but unfortunately,
this
is where we're at.
Today on DrawBomb, we asked the important question: has the internet traumatized all of us, and we're all just pretending like it's jokes and japes? That's what I'm really here to discuss.
I think the internet has now the internet is a ever-present being in our lives. You know, it's here. It's not new. I think people have chilled out on the like shock.
They
stuff.
have.
I mean, it still exists, but it's not like it's not like your friend sending you this thing. Like now it's just like a Rickroll. You don't get like someone's prolapsed anus or somebody getting killed by
I'll be honest,
a horse.
Way back when Rickrolls became a thing, I was actually psyched because in my mind I was like, oh thank God we're finally done goat seeing people. I was like, hey man, like I'll take getting Rickrolled over getting goatseed any fucking, like I wish I had been Rickrolled instead of goatseed at the age of 12. That would have been fucking phenomenal.
It would have been great. It would have been a big improvement. I'd
would probably be
a more well-adjusted human.
I was literally gonna say that exact sentence.
But unfortunately, it was not the case.
Nope, unfortunately we decided to hang out on the Clock Crew, and boy do those
Maybe
guys...
that's the problem, is the company we kept.
No, I can tell you for a fact that it's not just the Clock Crew. Like when I went to college, like anyone who was like online, terminally online like we were, they were like, oh yeah, Goatsy, Tub Girl, oh yeah, shit, I know that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm moving these rope lines down to a lower layer, by the way. I don't know if I drew them
move
or
things around. I'll probably move my guys around too as time goes on. So.
Yeah. So we're here. We're drawing. Get used to it.
Yeah, get used to it.
Get used
problem.
to it. Come
on. You don't like
now.
drawings? Why are you here?
I'll fucking kill you.
This is the whole point.
What have you done this week, Brandon? What's been new? I've titled this episode something very specific. Because I feel like
Wrestlemania retrospective.
Yeah, I've spelled retrospective like wrestle, but
I'll see what you did. I understand what happened there.
I thought I was being clever. I might have just been being tough on the SEO results. But
what's the difference?
What's the difference? Either way, we're named Bomb, so it's not like search results are going to be like, oh yeah.
What?
If anything, we'll actually corner a great market. We'll be like, when people are like looking up how to make bombs, they'll be like, don't you want to watch these hilarious comedy videos instead? And like the terrorists will be like, you know what? I think I will. And then
I don't want to lure in all the incels.
No, you're right. Actually, that's actually a target audience we don't want. That's an anti-target audience.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's a happy ending if we convert them, but I don't want them.
You know, it's they say that statistically Wednesdays have a higher suicide rate than any other day of the week, and it's just because it's in the middle of the work week and like
because people know they have to wait so many more days till another episode of DrawBomb.
Exactly right. And so I have to imagine like so like, and this is completely based off of the subjective analysis of that data. The data is that suicides are higher on Wednesdays. The subjective analysis of that data that I read was that maybe people are doing that extreme step because they're fucking tired of the work week. And, you know, if they make it through like even that Wednesday, the chances of them being okay with making it through the rest of the week are that much higher. That's the subjective analysis. I don't know if I entirely believe that. It seems like that person's analysis is putting a pretty heavy decision on like a whim of like, fucking Wednesday, jeez. But if that analysis is in fact correct, then, you know, just having a search result of DrawBomb instead of how to create violence might be the ticket that person needs to turn their mental plane around, is what I'm really, that's what this whole tangent.
This is
Please save me from this bit.
To help people.
That's right.
This show to help people not kill themselves. And
this is the DrawBomb guarantee. We prevent terrorism. That's what we do.
Something like that.
We're allowed to make that guarantee because you can't say we didn't. Because you know, as far as we know, we're at 100% right now. The 100% of the people who have watched our channel haven't done any of that crazy shit. I gotta stop messing with you.
Great. That's a great turnbuckle. Great. You know, that's a great statistic. We got some people in the chat. We got Z Newts. We got Leviathan Den. We got Liz Zay. They're all here.
Great subject matter to start the episode with. Good job, Ian. Everyone give him a round of applause.
I mean, that was a transition from you talking about a man having sex with a horse and dying.
Wow, I'm really on a roll today, aren't I? Jesus.
You are. Right out the gate.
Getting right out the gate. Shit. Well, what have you done this week, Brandon? I know there's a couple of things I could bring up, and you'll be like, oh yeah. Or you might remember them.
So I'm moving soon.
Yes.
Not too far, but we're moving, and we have access to the house in the meantime that we're going to be going to. So we've just been, not very interesting, but we've just been over there like painting, doing some like repairs. Not too much repairs that need to be done, but mostly like painting and cleaning and getting things ready. So we've been doing a lot of that. That's been taking up almost all my time.
It really has.
So that's fun. I mean,
that's a good time. Everyone loves to, when they're off from work, they love to do more work.
Exactly.
It's their favorite.
My day job has been pretty slow lately, so it's kind of a nice time for, it's not as miserable, you know, as it could be.
That's good.
So, yeah. Except I'm paying for all the stuff to fix up this place and not bringing any money in simultaneously, so. Not the best, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, you're kind of like in an awkward position where you're like spending money because you don't have the job, so it's like now's the perfect time to spend all this money I need to spend.
Yeah.
But, you know, the job is why you can spend that money in the first place, so it's...
Exactly, and you know, we're doing fine. So Doug says this drawing is against TOS. Yeah, it does look really strange right now.
Doesn't look good.
Just gonna have to trust me, okay? Trust the process. It's kind of like the when we did the paintball episode.
Yes,
that one looked unfortunate as well.
I would say a lot of our drawings look pretty unfortunate until, like, you ever have that thing where somebody's working on a drawing and you're like, what the fuck is this? And then they do like one line and you're like, oh, that's a face, or that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what a lot of our drawings are, except all that they see is just an abomination until it makes itself clear. And then it's not much better, but, you know.
It's a different kind of abomination. At least they know what kind of abomination they're looking at that point.
Yeah, it's an abomination that's not against the rules, so...
Right. And this one won't be against the rules.
No, this one's going to be very PG. Violence is allowed on Twitch, okay?
You just can't do, you know, anatomy.
Yeah.
Or common bodily functions. It's just violence.
I'm still pretty pissed off at TikTok about how they muted our one short.
Yeah, you haven't talked about that on the stream.
No, I mean it happened yesterday. So it's fresh in my mind. But so we've been uploading little shorts of our animations and stuff to the YouTubes, to the TikToks, to the what have yous. And they've been really good for our channel because they've been getting us a lot of subscribers. Now, if those are viewers and not just subscribers, I can't tell you, but they're coming. But the one short I uploaded yesterday, I say the word penis quite clearly and quite enunciated. And apparently, TikTok is like, whoa, buddy. Calm down there. You can't be saying that shit on our app. You can't be saying the P word.
The context wasn't even really like sexual or anything. You were just talking about that spot, just about the anatomy.
I was literally talking about you spill food on it. And TikTok was like, nuh-uh, we're going to mute the entire video. And for me, like, sure, kill the engagement. Do this, do that. Mute the entire audio because of the word penis? Weird. That seems like everyone always complains like, oh, YouTube censorship is insane, man. Like, fuck it. But like, yeah, I know TikTok's owned by China, but like the censorship on TikTok seems to be a little extreme. Just saying.
I wonder if that, is a common thing that would happen because it seems so specific and weird.
There is another short we have in the chamber getting ready to go that does also feature the word penis quite prominently in it because
we'll know after that one comes out.
We'll know. We'll have our answer. That one's talking about like when the mushroom guy, he looks like a penis. We're like, oh, you look like a penis. He's like, yes, I do. That's once again just referring to like it's like anti-sexual if anything. It's like very clinical. Yeah. It's said by me as like an old man, so it's not like you're like, oh yeah.
Hey, don't yuck people's yums.
Say penis again,
that
old
might be
wizard.
Exactly what they're into.
I'm spending way too much fucking time on this turnbuckle.
Yeah, me too. I'm just trying to get this to not look totally messed up.
You know what? The thing about turnbuckles is like they're these like big knots that all like there's like those big knots on them that hold the ropes and shit, and I'm like that's making the drawing take so much longer.
So that's just padding. When they take them off, it's just a little like hook.
Yeah, no, it's just to contain where the ropes meet up, but it's like in terms of drawing their shape, it's time consuming.
Ian or Zone Dog in the chat says they look like they're fishing. I don't see why you'd say that. They don't. It's like
I can kind of see it. Yeah. I can see it. It's like imagine he's dunking the guy's head underwater like Batman.
Oh yeah. Okay. I guess that's possible.
Xenute says, "What is your favorite part of a good wrestling?" We should probably talk about wrestling. Like we named the episode. We should talk about it. We watched Wrestlemania.
We did. That is one thing we did that I didn't mention. We watched Wrestlemania the last couple nights.
We did.
And it was
a good time as always. Good time as always. You know, they always throw in a couple of surprises. You know, we thought we had everything figured out.
Yeah, at least with like the headliner we thought we did.
Yeah, which did not. To be fair, I have to imagine so many people were thinking like along this. Like, I mean, Matt was on the same page as us, and he's the one who actually watches wrestling. So
they definitely played it up like it was going to go a certain way.
Yeah, they know how to manage expectations, I think, and they know they're not afraid to let people down.
It's true, which is good, I guess, because you don't want to just know what's going to happen, or else that's no fun.
Yeah, we were so confident in that match, we didn't even bet on it. We were just like, yeah.
Yeah, we were all on the same page, though. And then we were all collectively wrong.
That's right. Oh,
wrong.
Zone Dog's redeeming sound alerts that I think Sound Alert took it down because of copyright or something like that. I don't know why.
Man, our whole Whole thing's broken.
I know. What the heck? Or I'm not logged into Twitch. What the hell? Sound alerts is the worst.
Thanks for your points, though, Zone Dog.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Got those motherfuckers.
That guy sucks.
But sound alerts might be the worst add-on for Twitch. I'm gonna say that because this is like the 3rd time in a row we've started a stream and it hasn't been working. And when I click on the tab, it's like, oh, you gotta log into Twitch. It's like, bitch, you should log into Twitch. You're the fucking add-on. So sound alerts, folks. It's bad. This is me complaining about a product that no one else uses.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Wait, oh, shit. Hold on. Wait, shit.
Oh, come on!
There we go.
There you go. Oh, he did a... Yeah, well, you know, nothing we can do about that. Zone Dog's a sucker. He's like, he keeps you buying them, so he's like...
Yeah, I'm not...
He's like that guy that, like, the vending machine steals his money and then he continues to put his money in it.
Yeah, I was gonna, like... I was gonna refund some of the points, but this is just Darwinism. Like,
no, we need him to learn. We need him to learn.
You're gonna lose those points, dog. You're never getting those back. It's a button we can click too. We just click a button and it's like, yeah.
Here you go. Here's his points. Back, but no, we're not doing that for you.
Yeah, you've lost them.
Wasn't meant to be.
Wrestlemania. This is the 4th year in a row, 3rd year in a row.
I don't know. I would have guessed 3rd, but you wrote 4th on the thing.
I wrote 4th on the thing because it feels like it's been 4. Because like what, pandemic? That was 2020. 2021.
Is that the first time we did it with the pandemic?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I watched it. I remember I bought Choco Vino, and I know I watched it in that shitty house with the dilapidated ceiling that my landlord wouldn't fix.
Gotcha. What a time.
What a time to be alive. So 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. Yeah, this is 4. It's a tradition 4 years running. We watch WrestleMania every year with our buddy Matty F.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, guest on the show. Check out his streams. He's great. Yeah, we watched WrestleMania with him every year since pandemic started. And I don't know. I love it. I love WrestleMania.
Another good year, yeah.
Another good year.
I don't really watch much wrestling throughout the year. We did do SummerSlam this year, but that's the first time we did that. Normally it's just like WrestleMania. But
was SummerSlam the Royal Rumble?
Oh, that's what I meant. Royal Rumble.
Okay.
See, that just further selling that I don't watch a lot of wrestling outside of the big events.
Well, during WrestleMania, I kept calling the Royal Rumble WrestleMania, so I mean, shit.
Oh, so it's your fault.
It's all my fault. No.
Explain away, but no, it's your fault. I'm going with that.
Yeah, just go with that. But every year we watch WrestleMania. It's a good time. We love the wrestling. We love the pageantry. I love the pageantry. I don't know how you feel about the pageantry, but I'm a big fan.
I hate the pageantry.
See, he hates the pageantry. I'm a fan.
No, I love it too. Speaking of which, what's your answer to Zenut's question?
What's my favorite part of a good wrestling costume? It's gonna have to be the material.
Hard to say.
Like
I like some nice colors.
I like some nice colors. A lot of like pants and like suits are made of like latex or whatever, like just the standard fabric that you see. So a lot of times you'll see an outfit that's a little more shiny. Maybe it looks like it's made of a different material. I always notice that. Really, I don't know, because like there have been a lot of wrestling costumes where I'm like, that looks cool. And then there's a lot of wrestling costumes where I should think that looks cool, and I'm just like, that looks dumb.
A lot of it for me is the persona. Like
the persona is important, yeah.
Requires a good character to go with it.
It's like so like during WrestleMania this year, one of the costumes was like just like the like legit Viking looking dudes like looked as sweaty and like smelly as like a Viking would look in real life. And I was like, yeah, those dudes look like how Vikings probably did look. But I also thought the costume looked kind of dumb.
Yeah, it looked a little dumb.
It looked a little dumb. Is that because it's like you're dressed as a Viking and it's wrestling? Or was it because it kind of looked like a cheap Viking getup? I'm not sure.
I think you could be a good Viking. I mean, there's friggin' a guy that dresses like Highlander.
True.
Popular.
He's very popular. He's really cool.
Also, real quick in the chat, we also have Lotus Clock as well as Captain Sheepy. Welcome to the stream.
We got the MVPs back.
That's right.
Glad to have y'all here. Captain Sheepy, welcome back. Captain Sheepy, you have a chapter in the one YouTube video we have back. So like way back last year, I uploaded a video of Brandon playing Resident Evil 4 VR, and we gave you a small shout out in the video because you were in the chat during one of his streams. But I also, when I uploaded it, YouTube was like, hey, is it cool if we try and automatically add chapters to this video? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to see it try. And it's been a year, but YouTube finally did try. And one of the chapters is when we shout out you, Captain Sheepy. So you got a chapter that YouTube has named Captain Sheepy.
Wow.
Forever, it just feels, forever.
It's your legacy.
Yeah, that's right. You're immortalized in our YouTube channel, which feels appropriate because you were here back before we did this run of DrawBomb lives back in the original run.
An OG, as one might say.
That's right, an OG. So happy to have you credited as such in one of our videos, and glad to have you back. Now, OG stands for Original Gangster. Now,
yeah,
I think we're setting the bar low with how we've used the term OG. Not us specifically, but just society. We've set the bar really low for a gangster, especially an original variety,
Just being the first one to do it automatically makes you a gangster.
Yeah. Seems like if I were a real gangster, if I were a legitimate gangster, not necessarily an original one, but a legitimate one, I'd be a little pissed, I think.
Yeah, you'd be like, they're just throwing this title around left and right.
Yeah.
You don't have to earn it. I put in the hours. I put in the legwork.
I had to set up so many drug deals to become an original gangster. Because that's what gangsters
all varieties
do.
Of gangsters.
That's true.
What's the OG?
I guess what would be a drug gangster?
The mafia.
I mean, isn't like Al Capone, like
This was more prohibition. I guess booze.
Alcohol's a drug.
Is a drug, and it was illegal at the time. That's fair.
Was he the original gangster? Like, I don't think I have to imagine organized crime existed before Al Capone.
Organized crime had to have been around a long time before him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Al Capone, that was like 39, right? That he got killed, or that the Valentine's Day massacre happened or something like that? I don't expect you to know the dates of Al Capone's life off
That's
the top of your head.
because I don't know them.
I'm going to Google it real quick. Let's see. Al Capone arrested. I want to say it was 39, but oh no, he was arrested 1929 because he was convicted during 31, and I think he died 47. So he died 2 years. I mean, he was
tax evasion.
Yeah, that's right. They got him for tax evasion. He was arrested a while before World War II, and I did remember reading a thing about how World War II, because of like the rise of fascism and stuff like that in Italy, that was what gave rise to a lot of organized crime in like Italy. Was like people like couldn't trust the government to help them, so organized crime always like gets its start as like a sort of like charitable thing for the people that's also doing illegal shit, like Pablo Escobar, when he was getting big, he was giving money to like the locals and like paying off the like road projects and shit like that, because that gets you in the favor of the people. So when you start doing the really bad stuff, then some people are like, but he gave us like all this food.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. So like what I'd read about like Italian mafia organized crime was that it was originally like in place because of like fascism in Italy and all that junk. But I have to imagine like organized crime had to have existed even before that. Like I would be surprised. Like crimes existed for a long time, so and organizations existed for about that same amount of time. Maybe we should look it up someday.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Yeah. There is a movie on Netflix, and it's supposedly god awful, and I kind of want to watch it, but I've also been told it's not like fun bad, it's just bad. But it's called like The Last Day of American Crime or something like that. And the plot line is that the government's gonna like activate a chip in everyone's brain that makes them unable to commit crime. So one guy's gonna try like one last heist before the chip starts or whatever. Sounds really stupid. It's starring the yeah. It's starring one of the guys who is in the remake of the Point Break the Point Break remake, like the guy who plays Bodhi in the Point Break remake. It stars him because like I saw him in the preview picture and I was like, why does he look familiar? It was awful. Zone Dog and I watched it and we were just like, this has missed the point of everything about the original Point Break. It was just like,
can't wait for Roadhouse remake to do this, make the same mistake.
Oh yeah, are they remaking Roadhouse, or are you just predicting that?
Oh, they are.
Are they? It's been announced?
I believe so.
Oh shit.
I mean,
we gotta watch the original.
That one was.
Yeah.
I know. I'm down. I've never actually seen it, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about what a pure Roadhouse should be, but I have some suspicions of what I'm going to see.
Starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh. Roadhouse.
Directed by Doug Liman. What have I seen him? Oh, directed by the guy who directed Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And Jumper.
Wow, what a great flick.
Actually, he did direct Edge of Tomorrow, and that was a movie that made me kind of like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But mostly because you got to watch him die.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
It's like Groundhog Day, but Starship Troopers version.
Exactly. Everyone described it as like if you had quick loading in life, and I was like, oh yeah, kind of like that. I bring up this Netflix movie because I've actually watched another Netflix movie recently that I did enjoy. It wasn't some weird, gritty, future dystopia crime movie.
Sounds terrible.
But it did have Adam Sandler in it.
Oh boy. What was it?
It was Murder Mystery 2. I watched it.
What'd you think?
Well, I liked Murder Mystery 1. So I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because you're like, oh, Adam Sandler. Oh boy, I can't wait to hear about this trash fire. And I'm like, hey, I've watched
his last few things.
I wouldn't say the last few things. I mean, I liked Uncut Gems. That was probably one of the more recent things that I can think of Adam Sandler's been in.
Hubie Halloween.
I enjoyed Hubie Halloween. I wouldn't say it's good, but I thought it was fun. I mean, it's a cute Halloween movie. I didn't hate it. Yeah, I'll say I liked it.
So I can't. I'm not gonna like judge that. I just haven't seen it.
I'll say I liked it. I wouldn't say it's a good movie. I'd say I had a fun time with it though.
Okay, fair enough. Zone Dog says Hustle was good. I don't know what Hustle.
I don't know what Hustle is.
Was that the sports one? Wasn't he in the sports one? That must be. Like
that's the only one I can think it would be. Yeah, I actually completely forgot that one existed, but
I haven't seen it. I just feel like it sounds familiar.
Until you mentioned the sports
one. He might not
one.
have been a coach.
I mean, I feel like your guess is closer than, like, when he said Hustle, I was like, what the fuck? I've never heard of that. But yeah, I liked The Do-Over on Netflix, which is a surprising one that I liked because it's an Adam Sandler, David Spade buddy comedy.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. I haven't seen that either. I haven't watched anything he's done in like, so I shouldn't have that many opinions. It's not fair to be like, everything he does is trash if you haven't seen something he's done in like over 10 years.
Right. Well, I will say this. When you see the previews for like the Ridiculous Six, like that looks like fucking garbage. Like Ridiculous Six looks like a fucking trash movie. Like maybe it's funny. I doubt it, but that was like the beginning of like his Netflix movie run. And then he did that one that's like The Wrong Missy or whatever, which unfortunately looks like really bad, even though it has Lauren Lapkus as a main character in it, because I think Lauren Lapkus is hilarious. Bless you. But The Do-Over was surprisingly funny. I actually do recommend checking out I recommend checking out The Do-Over, because I'd be interested in hearing what you thought of it. But I ended up hating the first 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes felt like a bless you.
Goodness.
The first 20 minutes felt like a sort of bland Adam Sandler giving up type of movie that we were all used to. And then it like takes a turn where there's like one scene where I'm like, wow, Adam Sandler's actually doing a really good job acting in this scene right now, because he looks like he's like about to cry and he's like really mad about something, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a David Spade comedy movie, man. Like, you don't gotta be putting up these kind of chops.
Yeah, you don't even have to try.
Yeah,
and you'll still make your money. And
then the movie just got funnier from there, even though it's like still pretty. Like, I read this on IMDb and I'm like, that's hilarious. But the one IMDb trivia on the movie that I think is very I don't know what the word for it is, but pertinent maybe, is that like the trivia says like, this is the third Adam Sandler movie where he gets a previously incurable disease and then is cured of it. And I'm like, that's kind of funny.
that is funny.
That's a weird shtick to keep going in your movies.
Yeah, that's strange. That's awesome.
But so in the Do-Over, I mean, I've spoiled a little bit that there is a incurable disease in the Do-Over. But that's like the dumbest part of the whole movie, is like the actual, like the reason that like everything kind of starts. Like when I saw that, I was just like, okay, man. But then like all the individual scenes, like the entire overall movie is kind of dumb, but then the actual individual scenes just ended up being really funny and enjoyable to me. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I recommend it.
Maybe I'll give it a try.
It's not a good movie, once again, but I fucking laughed at it a surprising amount. It really caught me off guard.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, maybe me expecting it to be so bad is what, like...
That helps sometimes.
Yeah, it gave it that leeway to be like, found your little weak spots.
I've definitely seen movies that I was like so expecting to be bad that they ended up seeming better than they were.
Yeah.
Not saying that this is one of those cases. I'm just saying that is it real?
It's phenomenon. A thing. Yeah, absolutely. Your expectations, I think, have a very heavy impact on like your perception of whatever it is you're kind of watching. Because like if you expect it to be the best thing ever,
blind anymore.
Absolutely, same. It's just the best way to do it. Is like if you know you're gonna watch it anyways, just don't fucking keep up with it. Then just let it come out and then watch it and be like, or take some good reviews from something you've never heard of. Maybe be like, I'll check this out, because that'll also give you some wonderful things.
Right.
Anyways, Murder Mystery 2 on Netflix. I watched it. I enjoyed the first one. The first one.
Jennifer Aniston, right?
Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler, correct. The first one is it's like the whole premise is like, you know, your standard murder mystery tropes and stuff. Like the first one literally has the lights go out and a gunshot happens, which is like one of my favorite tropes anyways, but that's like how you know what kind of movie you're getting yourself into, is like the lights go out, gunshot happens, you hear a scream, lights turn back on, there's a dead body. Classic trope. Love that trope. And so the movie's like that, but then like the people who are trying to solve the murder mystery are a bickering couple the whole time. And it's kind of fun because like you get to like, because like they kind of play the couple aspect fairly, what I felt was realistically. Like when I watched in the first one, Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston kind of having their little tiffs here and there.
They
like
seemed like couples that you like, all the couples in your life.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it with my then girlfriend, and like
I don't know what bit I was trying to do there, but
yeah, I think you were trying to say that I'm around people who fight all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to go for.
But like, you know, they bicker a lot, but like you still get the sense that they care about each other in the movie. It's not like you never watch them bicker and you're just like, this is the one, man. They're fucking, this relationship's over. It's never like that. So it's cute.
I actually thought the plot was like they were like an ex couple or something, and they were stuck in a thing together, and then like cliche, they fall in love again or something.
Nah, they're married the whole time. They just go on a vacation that goes awry, and they end up in a murder mystery, and then they're just like trying to survive it they're not even trying to solve it, they're trying to survive it, and the whole time they're just like constantly going like, why are you going in there? That's a terrible place to go. Come over here. This is the better place to go. She's like, you don't know a closet if you fucking stepped in what, you know. It's just them having couple arguments while It's fun. It's a fun concept. Like, they play it right. Like, it could be easily be a very annoying type of movie, but I think the way they play the couples off, it's endearing. Like, I think that's the main thing, is that, like, the couples are still, like, as a couple, they're still endearing. Like, because they never have, like, a blowout fight. I mean, I think they have one, like, you know, every movie has to have that, like...
Gotta have the down part of the story arc where, oh gosh, they are really just not gonna make it through this as a couple. No,
Did you see the way that one best friend said, hey, you know what your problem is? And then dressed down his entire life? I don't think they're gonna be friends again after that one. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's hard to come back from that one.
Hard to come back from that fight. So yeah, you always, I mean, the movies always have like that nadir. I don't think I remember it being like, oh, they're gonna break up. I think it's them being like, oh, I guess we're gonna fucking die. But you know, it's in the end, it's still an endearing, like, sort of relationship that you get to watch, and they like fight and have, like, you know, try and solve this murder. It's fun. I don't know. I liked it. I watched with my then girlfriend at the time. We both had a kick out of it because we were like, this couple is very familiar. It's us, minus the part where we eventually broke up. But
you guys watched the movie while you were avoiding getting murdered, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we were both cooped up,
hiding in a room where that was playing on the TV, and the murderer was.
We actually watched the entire movie through like a crack through the doorway.
The murderer put on the movie and just watched it, and you guys were watching over shoulders. So it was hard to, like, the funny scenes you wanted to laugh, but you really
couldn't laugh.
That would get you murdered.
Would have gotten killed. You laugh, you die.
Yeah, we've all been there.
We've all been there. A true you laugh, you lose situation.
You know?
Man, I tell you what. But yeah, Murder Mystery 2 is just more of the same. Like, I mean, it's like, it's a continuation of it, obviously, because it's the sequel. But it's like, you know, they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just another fun, cute murder mystery.
Much as the first?
I would say, so I felt like when I was watching this new one, as they were setting everything up, I kind of felt like the setup was focusing on a lot of bullshit I didn't give a shit about. Like, there's like this, like, in the first movie, they all end up on like this, they like end up on this really fancy cruise ship, and they're like, whoa, look at that over there, that's crazy, oh my god. That's my impression of Adam Sandler in the scenes on the boat. Thank you, I appreciate that. And so it's like, yeah, you get it, like, this schlubby couple is on like this fancy billionaire's yacht. They're gonna be like, wow, look at that. And they do it for like 2 minutes, and it's cute because they're like, whoa, and they're, you know, like, look at this, you look at that, look at this. That sort of shit. They're a very Brooklyn couple, by the way. I should mention that. They heavily play up the Brooklynness of their squabbles. But or I think they say that from long. It's very New York. Like, when we do a New York argument with each other, it's like we're watching that movie.
Gotcha.
But you know, in the sequel movie, they have like another scene where like they're at like a wedding, which is where everything kind of happens. But they're at the wedding and they're like looking at everything, going like, whoa, look at this, whoa, the roof does this, oh my god, look at that. And it felt like it went on like a little longer, to the point where I was kind of like, all right, guys,
stop looking at things.
Like, I'm poor. You know, like, sure, Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler's characters having a great time looking at all the rich people shit, but we're still sort of just glorifying rich people shit right now. I don't know if I'm having a fun time with that. And then eventually the movie actually starts, and then I had a good time with it, and then it was really funny.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Watch the first one.
Watch the first one. I would say it's cute. I mean,
then I can decide if I want to watch the second one.
Yeah, like, don't go in expecting like I watched. I remember I showed my parents the first Murder Mystery. We watched Knives Out, and then we watched Murder Mystery, and like, Knives Out was clearly the better movie. Like, Knives Out was just a very good movie.
I don't know. Ben Shapiro was telling me I shouldn't watch it.
Oh man, I guess, shit. Well, fucking, if we don't listen to the guy who can't get his wife wet, like, who should we listen to? You know what I mean?
Should have known by where it was gonna go.
Hey.
Deserved. It's deserved.
He absolutely deserves that till the end of his fucking life and more. But you know, don't go and expect, like, Knives Out was clearly a better movie. Murder mystery, it's just it's a cute, like, they take the genre, and then it's like, what if a schlubby Brooklyn couple was caught up in the midst of, like, a billionaire's murder? Watch that happen, and it's cute. I would say, like, the movies are funny and cute, if I had to describe them.
I think that's kind of Sandler's MO, like, lately. I think for the past, like, however many years, he's just been making movies that kind of, like, a kid or a parent could watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like, you know, a little crude, but they're still, like, just, like, very low state, like, very, not
low
edgy. Concept.
Like, hey, a bunch of high school friends hang out for a weekend. Salma Hayek's there.
There's I forget who the guy is. He's like a writer or a comedian or something, but he wrote the full script for Grown Ups 3.
I saw that. I read that, yeah.
It was actually good, but it was like a murder. It's like a horror movie, and they're all getting like murdered, but it's like
it's so funny.
I don't know. I'm like, do that.
I forget. Does he bring up the chocolate wasted line somewhere in that script somewhere? Because I feel like,
I don't know. They're doing kind of the like meta thing where it's like they're actually playing themselves.
Oh, okay.
All the characters. So they are commenting on the series a little bit.
I remember reading this. It's been a while.
But they'll play themselves.
Interesting. I think you may have linked me to it when you found it. I feel like
it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just somebody making it like a fanfic.
Yeah, it is basically a fanfic.
Throw it up.
Yeah, I don't know. That was Murder Mystery 2. It was cute and funny. So there you go, folks. It's on Netflix. Everyone has a fucking Netflix account or someone who knows someone who does. So just
for now.
That's right.
They take it away from you.
They're planning those changes. Netflix was like, "Hey, we're not making enough money. What should we do?" And someone in the room was like, "Maybe we should stop making piece of shit shows and movies." And that guy got fired. And then they went and they canceled all of the good shows instead. And then they decided to start charging more for the service because that's fucking brilliant.
Not to go down this road. It may work out for them ultimately. Like, who knows? Like, I know most people are stealing Netflix, so maybe they'll end up making money. It's stupid, and they shouldn't do this. But regardless, one of the dumb parts is, so right now, like, you pay for like screens. So
yeah,
you know, even if you're sharing it with like somebody, you're still paying for it, kind of. I'm assuming you're like. The argument is like, well, no, but the one person just turns it off and the other one watches it, but then who gives a shit about that either? But I mean, if you're paying for like multiple screens, who cares where they're at?
Yeah.
I mean, understand.
It's stupid. I mean, it's funny that Netflix was like, man, there's a bunch of people who are watching our stuff and they're watching it on a friend's account. And they weren't just like, huh, that's cool. Because that person would never pay for our service otherwise. They were like, let's make that guy pay for our service, not realizing that the reason that guy's not paying for Netflix is because he's not gonna.
Because it kind of sucks, right? Like, there's not much on there. Not much going on these days.
Yeah, hey Netflix, when are you releasing the next season of Wednesday? Oh, 2 years from now? What have you got till then? Murder Mystery 2, I guess? I don't know. I give it a lukewarm recommendation. I think it's fun and cute. I'm not gonna be like, whoa, dog. Like, every time they have like a show that could be like their next Stranger Things, they're like, but it's not as popular as Stranger Things. And then they just fucking cancel it. It's so stupid. So short-sighted.
Sure. Yeah, it seems like it's probably making them money in the meantime, but it's probably gonna end up killing them in the long run, maybe.
That's usually how it works, yeah. Vulture capitalism is usually like short-term gains for long-term punishments. And
everyone gets out just in time and makes their money and moves on to the next thing.
And it's also like, there's like this, I mean, this has been talked about to death, so it's not like we're talking about anything new. But you know, the constant, like, apparently, like, for investors in, like, publicly traded companies or whatever, like, the goal is not just to be making a profit, but to be making, like, more profit than last year, which is possible sometimes, but it's not always.
No, if you don't do it every year, it counts as failure.
Yeah, and, like, which is absolutely ridiculous, because, like, I remember when Patreon was like, hey, man, we're still profitable, but we're gonna have to take some more cut from the creators because we need to make more money. And it's like, you know, that there's diminishing returns on squeezing the juice out of a fucking lemon, you know? It's like
people are becoming a little more aware of it, I think. Now it's like more in the conversation, and also like stuff like, you know, all prices of everything are going up, right? Yeah. But like at the same time, all these companies are reporting record years, so it's kind of like it's obvious what's happening. You know?
Yeah, but I mean that's been obvious. I mean it's been obvious like that for like over 10 years now. I think it's
sure,
just,
but I just think right now, since everybody's feeling the
squeeze,
feeling the pain, feeling the squeeze, it's a little bit more like something people are more paying attention to than they normally would. Slightly.
Maybe.
I mean, at least more than they normally do. The average person, I mean, sure, like in our circles, like everybody's talking about it, blah, 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 but the average person is, I think, just kind of goes with the flow when things are like, I don't know, not bugging them. They just ignore it all and they just don't pay attention to what's going on.
I think to a degree, yes, but I mean, I just feel like I've been hearing people complain about this sort of stuff since like I was working in the restaurant industry, you know? I feel like
sure, I mean, it's been going on forever.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's necessarily more on, and like I don't think people are necessarily more aware. I feel like after Occupy Wall Street, like we kind of reached maximum awareness on the thing.
It's one of those things that when people are comfortable, they care less, is more what I'm trying to say.
I guess, yeah.
People
but
are
I mean,
uncomfortable right now.
I think, yeah, but I think people are increasingly uncomfortable, but I think they've been uncomfortable for a while still.
Sure, they, you know, majority of people, but like there's like a certain tier that normally sits, you know, without issues. But yeah, it's been growing for a while. I'm not saying like it started this week or anything like that.
Oh, I know.
It's reaching critical mass, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think it's... I think if it was going to reach critical mass, it would have reached it a long time ago. But, I mean, this is, at this point, purely speculation. So it's like... What am I going to be like? No, It's just, you know, we have different sort of speculative outlooks.
Sure. On it. I think generationally, that changes things, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, like, younger generations are... absolutely more aware. Like, I think if you talk to my parent, like I've talked to my parents about some shit, and you know, they're aware, but you know, some things I'm like, hey, did you know about this? They're like, oh no, I didn't. But you talk to like younger kids, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of like Gen Zers or whatever the fuck we're calling like the newest voting population that's like sort of coming into age right now. I feel like they're definitely more acutely aware of this stuff than like my parents would have been at their age.
Right, and the fact that they are in voting age, I think, makes it a little bit more of the issue if the people who actually are paying attention, you know, are of voting age, I guess, you know, because it doesn't mean anything if the kids are all aware but they're all 17.
Right, or it doesn't do anything if the kids are aware and they don't vote.
Right, exactly, that's true too.
Which that is actually a common thing, is, you know, the most common thing is that Democrats and the younger generations tend to not vote because they're more disenchanted with the process, whereas conservatives always vote because they really, really, really want to force you to do the shit they want you to do.
True.
What a Wrestlemania recap this has been, though. I tell you what.
I know, right? They wrestled capitalism.
They sure did. There wasn't anyone who did wrestle capitalism this time around, although the Sami Zayn fight, I must say.
Shane McMahon came out, and the McMahons always kind of represent capitalism, but then his legs snapped into dust immediately.
Shane McMahon's knee went through a recession.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Shane McMahon came out, and it was like, I don't know, kind of a moment, or they were trying to make it one, where he was like, like thanking the crowd for like the reception. Like like I said, I don't watch a lot of wrestling or haven't in a while, so I don't know if he hasn't been around in a while or something. But he's like, it's good to be back, and then all of a sudden, like within the first 5 seconds, he's running across the thing and he just drops to the ground and gets carted off. And it was real. That part wasn't fake wrestling.
Yeah.
Apparently his leg exploded.
And then
something within his leg, the inner workings of his leg stopped working.
And then Snoop Dogg came in and did the people's elbow on the guy.
Yeah, kudos to Snoop Dogg for just choosing to win the match in that moment.
I mean, that's the thing is, you know, a good performer is someone who's always able to take like a bad situation and sort of like figure out a way to, like, the show must go on. You know, the best performers are the ones who make you forget, like, if something goes wrong, you know, they make it not so clear that something's gone wrong. They sort of try and smooth over those things for the live show. And Snoop Dogg, you know, he's a performer. He knew what to do. He came out, did the people's elbow on the guy, and it was great.
Yeah, I knows enough about wrestling to know some moves.
He performed the people's elbow. He did every step. Like, if you say what you want about Snoop Dogg, that motherfucker apparently loves the people's elbow, because he did every step of the process, and he did not rehearse. Again, he was not supposed to wrestle. He was just there to say, you know, hey, what's up? And he did a perfect, like, he did like the steps. He threw the glasses, he did the arm elbow thing, he did the ropes, and then he did the drop. He fucking nailed a perfect run through of the steps you take for a people's elbow.
And he won the belt, so that's legal. He now is the belt holder.
Snoop Dogg is now a champion. I don't think
if I were him, I'd be like, I'm taking this.
Yeah,
this is mine now.
You can get a new one. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm still really pissed that Logan Paul is really good at wrestling.
Yeah, it's tragic. We all hate him, but he's good at wrestling.
Damn good wrestler. He would have just
been a wrestler.
Yeah,
would have been fine.
If he hadn't, like, you know, honestly, like, I'll say this, like, Suicide Force was what, 5-6 years ago. How old is Logan Paul now? Like, I don't think I would be willing to, like, forgive somebody for, like, making fun of a dead body very right away. But I have to, like, I mean, you know, like, when I think about...
Did he make fun of the bodies?
He did a video. I mean,
I thought he was just, like, exploiting the whole situation. I didn't realize he was up there, like, cracking jokes. I never saw it, but I heard about the whole thing. I saw
clips, and he wasn't, like, making fun of the dude who killed himself, but he was definitely like, "Whoa, dude, this is so crazy! Like, this is a dead guy." It wasn't great. Let's just say that.
Right. Sure. No, I'm not sticking up for it. I was like, oh damn, I didn't realize it was that bad. I mean, or it was even worse. Is better way to say it.
No, I think it was just like that baseline bad. Like,
yeah, exploiting it.
He like, I don't think, I don't like, I didn't watch the original video. He took it down before I could ever watch it. I saw somebody else's like clips from it, and it was basically like he was just like, whoa. He's never, like, you know, putting pencils in the fucking guy's ears or anything like that, you know, never messing with the body or anything, like, as far as I remember. And like, how old was Logan Paul when that shit happened? Like, was he like 20?
I think 21? that was like 10 years ago or something.
It was 2019, I want to say, that it happened, because
wow.
Or maybe 18. It was maybe 17. It was because, like, because I remember, like, I didn't know who Logan Paul was until that whole incident, and then I came home from work the one day, and my girlfriend was watching, like, videos about it, and I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, "You wouldn't believe what Logan Paul did," and I'd be like, "I don't know who Logan Paul is."
Like,
so
I might believe it because I don't know who this person is.
Yeah. So she educated me, and that actually started us kind of. That was her getting, like, I got her into video games with the Uncharted series. She got me into YouTube culture with, like, the Logan Paul scandal.
Drama.
Yeah. And I'm still in that. I'm still in that world, baby.
You like your YouTube dramas.
I love my YouTube drama. But yeah, I feel like it must have been. It was either 2017, 2018, or 2019. Don't remember which. But it was, I want to say it was 2018 at least.
I'm gonna put this to bed right now.
Yeah, just Google it. Fuck it. It's no fun for people to be like, maybe it was then. No, maybe it was then. I'm gonna say 2018. That's my call.
2017.
Damn it. Okay. So yeah, that's like a while ago. I think he was like 20, 22, something like that at the time. Like, I was a fucking idiot when I was 20, 22, all that stuff. Like, I would hate to be held accountable for shit I did, like, when I was 20. Like, I didn't do anything awful, like a fucking Suicide Forest body thing or anything like that, but
right.
I wouldn't call my, like, if I hung out with me when I was in my, like, early 20s, I would have fucking hated myself, man. Like, that dude sucked. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, if I had a following like you did, I'm sure there would be videos I made back then that I would just look back at and, like, hate myself for.
If somebody, like, if my job was to make content, and then I can guarantee you at some point I probably would have been like, let's go to another country. And if I went to Japan, I can guarantee you I probably was going to be like, yo, I remember reading about the Suicide Forest on Cracked, dude. Let's go there. And I don't think I would have played around with a dead body if I found one. But, you know, I think going to the Suicide Forest because it's the Suicide Forest is probably a little disrespectful in the first place.
Trying to get clicks out of it, I think, is the problematic part. But there's like a morbid curiosity I think a lot of people have. Yeah. Not defending him doing it. I could see where him or somebody around him would be like, this is a good idea, and not clicking that. No, it is not. Yeah. It's a bad idea.
Like, so I'd read about the Suicide Forest on Cracked, but like, I can imagine he was going there and being like, well, we're not going to see a dead body. There's no fucking way. It's the Suicide Forest, you know. Then you see a dead, like, I wouldn't have done what he done. Like, I would have definitely been like, we should call the authorities. Let's not shoot this. Totally. Like, that's dumb. But I also have never had a multi-million viewer YouTube channel. I don't know how fucking clout changes your brain chemistry or some shit like that. I don't know.
That's a good point.
I like want to give Logan Paul shit forever for the Suicide Forest thing, but we're always talking about, like, when do we forgive people? Like, what's the statute of limitations in our mind on some shitty behavior?
He still sucks.
The problem is that he still sucks. But, like, I feel like at a certain point we should stop making fun of him for the Suicide Forest thing. I'm not advocating for it.
I moved on to new things. I moved on to new things that I hate him for.
Yeah, thankfully he's given us more ammo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I still constantly make fun of him for the Suicide Forest thing, and I actually do feel bad. I mean, you know, even though he doesn't hear me or anything like that, in my mind, I'm still kind of like being a hypocrite, because I'm like, you know, I'd probably be at least, I don't know. I guess it would have to depend on, like, if like he were put in the same situation, would he do that shit again? Like, that, I guess, would be.
I think. You know, I think we all would like to think that we would, you know, we'd be smarter than that, but I think you're just, and you probably would be. We probably both would be, but I think you're just being charitable and you're admitting that. You're just being candid and admitting that, you know, people do dumb stuff to try to make content, and when you have like that kind of following, it's very easy to make something really stupid. Not, I mean, that's just like.
That's dumb as hell, man.
But I'm sure you could have made something that would have gotten, you know.
Yeah.
If you would have been as popular as he was by this point, you would have had an apology video or two.
If I was as big as Logan Paul when I was his age, it wouldn't have been the Suicide Forest. It would have been something else, I'm sure. I would have probably done something fucking stupid trying to make a video, and then I would have been canceled, and I would have had to make an apology video. Again, wouldn't be the Suicide. I don't think I'd ever do that shit with a Suicide Forest guy.
I don't think so either for that specifically, but I think it's just as an example.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really stupid.
I've done dumb, shitty things as a younger person, and I would hate to be fucking have that broadcast and just like made fun of for the rest of my life. And you know,
I think the thing is, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just again, Logan Paul's a shitty person. He's given us plenty of ammo to make fun of him for. I
think that's the issue, is people see how he is in all his other stuff, and they're like, that's why
he hasn't gotten better.
They're still giving him shit because he's still that guy.
Yeah.
He would still make that video today, you know?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
I want to. Maybe not, because he's got his fingers in other things. But
I want to say he's probably smarter than to film a video with a dead body nowadays. Especially with like YouTube's whole like cracking down on like, but like I want to say that at least as like an older man, he would probably know better. But what the fuck maybe he doesn't. Maybe he has not even seen what was wrong with that. I don't know. But the point is, he's given me plenty of ammunition. I feel like I should just... I feel like I got to put the Suicide Forest thing to rest, just because if I'm going to want to advocate for forgiveness for myself for shit I've done in my past, that I feel like I've grown past. But again, maybe there's no good answer, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
You're trying to be the good you want to see in the world. That's
exactly what it is. And you know what? The world isn't always worth it.
Sure. The world is not enough. That's what I always say.
Diamonds are also forever.
Goldfinger.
Octopussy!
A wild name for a movie.
Right? Wow, holy hell, how'd they get away with that shit?
70s.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, maybe pussy meant something else back in the 70s. I doubt it. Highly doubt it. Anyways, that picture of KSI and Logan Paul after the match, where KSI is just like on the stretcher in the big bottle, that picture made me laugh. I got a good kick out of that picture. Funny. KSI's got like a great pain face. Logan Paul looks appropriately like worried for KSI. It's a good picture. And Logan Paul, good wrestler.
He is unfortunately.
Good wrestler.
Wish he wasn't.
Wish he wasn't.
Credit where it's due.
Credit where it's due. He's damn good. Who was your favorite match of WrestleMania?
Good question. I didn't actually stop to think about that. Yeah. I really liked the one between there's the three guys.
Okay.
Gunther.
Oh, the
Scottish guy and
Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew.
Sheamus. It was good because it just went on a long time and it looked like it actually like I don't know why this like adds to it. I guess it's just because it's like the dedication. Yeah. It looked like really painful. They were just like actually beating on each other. It looked like black and blue by the end of it.
That was the one where they were doing like all the forearm smacks, right? Was that one?
Yeah, they kept just like beating on each other.
Yeah, that shit looked painful, and it was fun. Like, I will say, with WrestleMania, they've really figured out like their niche. I want to say, like, I feel like
Oh, you're going back.
I feel like I feel like they've figured out what makes a match compelling. To a degree, like I feel like they know for the most part like what's gonna make this match sell. I don't know. Let's have these guys punch the shit out of each other. Okay, good enough. And then that was a great match, and it wasn't like fancy. Like I don't think anyone even did any high flying moves or anything like that, if I remember correctly. I think they just hit each other.
Wailing on each other.
Yeah, it was great.
Slapping meat.
Slapping meat. So yeah, that was a great.
I don't know.
Match.
That one was fun. That one stuck out for me.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm not sure. I don't think this was as good as last year's. I feel like last year's WrestleMania was more fun.
I agree with you.
Not that I'm disappointed with this one. I still had a great time. I thought the Sami Zayn fight was great. I mean, just
that one was great. That one was great. There was a lot of. That one actually might have been my favorite, really.
That one worked, and it was purely like if they didn't have the storyline to go with that fight, it wouldn't have worked. Which is it goes to show the importance of like the story arcs in wrestling. Like
totally,
people like to make fun of that, but that Sami Zayn fight was so good because of like everything that was like sort of like building up to that moment.
The only people who make fun of it are the people who don't watch, because I mean that's kind of what wrestling is and has been forever.
And I think it's fair. I mean, like maybe wrestling could have survived without the storylines, like way back when people didn't know it was fake. Like back when you thought, like, dude, this is so real. They're actually punching each other, dude.
That's fair.
But now that, like, I mean, it's obvious it's fake. Everyone knows it's fake. And I feel like what you do then is you lean into it. And so that's what they're doing is like they're having these insane storylines, and it makes it more fun because, like, you know. When you watch a movie, you don't watch it for like, at least ideally, you don't watch it for all the disconnected fight scenes that, you know, I mean, we watched The Protector.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah. We just watched a movie for that exact reason recently, but, you know, But for wrestling, like, it makes sense to like put some emotion behind all the fights. Otherwise, you know, what are we here for? Watch a bunch of make pretend. But yeah, I mean, and that one match with the one match with the bald dudes, was that the 4-man tag team fight? That I felt was also a highlight, where they like one guy did that terrifying jump off the top rope like from nowhere.
Oh my god, he like spun around like I don't even know how he got his body flying like that.
So scary.
I'm not sure how you. And then he, didn't kill himself, which is the scary part.
It's the part you hope for, is that they don't kill themselves.
Zenut says Sean McMahon blowing out his knee was pretty good. Yeah, we liked that. And he also says big purple man throwing Kermit the Frog into the crowd. Yeah, that is kind of what's happening here.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Kermity vibe.
Very Kermity. But yeah, I thought that the 4-man tag team was really good, especially when they formed a Megazord to all like powerbomb one guy off of, or like suplex one guy off of the top rope.
Yeah, I was thinking you were gonna draw a Megazord file in this, but you've been just knocking out the background.
Yeah, once you got like that third wrestler drawn and I was still doing the turnbuckles, I was like, well, I know how this is gonna turn out.
I can scoot guys around if you still want to draw a character.
Oh, it's okay. I just want to get this drawing done at this point.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, when they all formed the Megazord to suplex one guy off the top turnbuckle, that was super fun. Because I'd never seen that, honestly. I never saw.
That's true.
7 dudes, and that's the funny, like, that in a real fight, that makes no fucking sense. Like, why would everyone climb on each other's shoulders and like cooperate with each other just to suplex one guy? That makes no sense. But that's the shit I love wrestling about, is like, I think I have the most fun with wrestling when it's specifically the stuff that doesn't make sense in a real fight, but it's good spectacle, you know?
Take advantage of the medium. Like,
yeah,
okay, we're in this weird world where this is a real sport, so let's, and there's just so much drama and everybody dresses like they're straight out of an anime. Let's just lean into it.
Absolutely, and I love it. So yeah, that stuff is my favorite. What's up?
Shiny Doggy says, I've turned off Love is Blind commentary from a therapist, so I know I'm committed to watching this.
Oh, well, we appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Love is Blind. Is that the show where the people dress up in the costumes and then they...
No. I think it's... Isn't Love is Blind the one where they meet each other? How does it work? They're just like... There's like a test? Oh, they talk in pods. Okay, I get them all mixed up. That was
Oh, that Sexy
Love
Beast
is...
First
Sight or something, but no, they talk in pods, so they just hear each other's voice, I think, and then they make decisions from there. I was thinking of I forget what it was called. There's one where they take some test and then they just meet the person that they're supposed to marry.
Oh, I think I know the one I don't know the name of it,
it's insane.
Yeah,
Morgan watches some of it, and I have watched some with her because love a little trash TV here and there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can't be thinking all the time. The therapist psychoanalysis from psychoanalyzes each person in an episode. It's amazing. Are you talking about Are You the One? Is that the one you're thinking of, Brandon?
I don't know. Let me see real quick.
I've never watched 90 Day Fiancé, but my ex did. What's up?
I think it's called Married at First Sight. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay.
That one's wild. Why
that is
through the shit. I think the answer is always for Instagram followers, but
Instagram followers or desperation. Like if you're gonna, if you're gonna get married on a reality show, like you gotta have been like, man, this is it.
But none of them are there to actually find.
No, but don't they actually get married? Like, I guess you can always like annul or have a divorce, but
sure, and they do, but
yeah,
it's still
strange. A hell of a commitment to make, even if you're not going to fully commit.
Shiny Doggy says, "Did you ever?" Oh yeah, go ahead.
She says, "Did you ever watch Beauty and the Geek?" I've seen. I think I saw a YouTube recap. I've watched, like, I don't watch these shows, but I've seen my ex watched a lot of YouTube channels that would do recaps of like these types of shows and like be like, "Whoa, isn't this crazy?" And then I've seen a couple of those videos myself, but I've never actually.
What is that, like She's All That, but it's a reality show or something?
Yeah, basically.
How does that work? What are the rules?
It's what you described. They take like a bunch of like unfuckable schlub nerds, and then they give them makeovers and like give them dating tips, I think, and then they have them try and date these girls. But I think maybe they don't get dating tips. I think like half of the fun is supposed to be like, wow, these dudes are awkward. Shiny Doggy will have to confirm if I am correct or if I'm thinking of a different show.
Sounds rude, but all these shows are.
Yeah, I've seen 2 shows. I saw these like way back in the early 2000s, and like in my mind, I was like, these are awful to have it.
A lot of reality shows that wouldn't fly now.
Yeah, like
there used to be one. I think Extreme Makeover used to be. Then they called it Home Edition, and it's.
Yeah, they were talking about that on the It's Always Sunny podcast.
Oh yeah, right. But they used to just straight up, or the Swan, and they would just straight up do like
plastic surgery on you.
Plastic surgery on people.
Yeah.
And then they'd come out and look at themselves in the mirror, and they'd all be like, "Yay!" Or occasionally they'd start crying because it wasn't what they wanted, and that's a nightmare. That is. How is that entertainment? That
I don't know. There was one show I remember back from the early 2000s that was called "Can I Come In?" I think it was called. Where what it is they take these dudes who are, yeah, it's about vampires, but they take these dudes who are like these, again, it's like the schlubby nerd people, and then they set them on a date with like these hot girls. I don't know how that process works or why the girls would sign up for this, but then, and I only ever saw one episode, so for all I mean, this is before social media, but for all I know, you know, this shit was entirely staged or had exactly one episode appear. But the point of the show was they take the schlubby nerd, put him on a date with the hot girl, and then they have some guy in a walkie-talkie doing a Cyrano de Bergerac thing, basically telling him like. Yes. But then also they have 3 challenges, and when they do the challenges, they get extra money for the date because they're also getting money for the date. So usually the challenges are embarrassing. Like the one guy I watched, he was like, you have to cry while telling a story. You have to randomly at some point just take the plates from your table and put them on somebody else's table. And then the final challenge, which was apparently the same for every episode, was the girl has to ask you to come inside at the end of the date. And I was like, the first 2 challenges and the Cyrano de Bergerac thing, like whatever, but you know, essentially the last one is like when someone asks you to come inside after a date, the general consensus or thought is that sex is implied. So it's like you're watching this guy go on a date, and then like he doesn't get any of the money if the girl basically doesn't invite him in for sex, which feels exploitative on like multiple levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
It's very strange, but the thing is, when I think about it in retrospect, again, I've only ever seen one episode, and I was like 12 when this came on, but when I think about it in retrospect, 1, the girls were probably paid to be on the show. 2, the girls probably, you know, invited the guy into the house or not. If like, he did good enough on today's episode, he deserves it.
Right.
3, they probably didn't fuck.
Right. Oh well, yeah, sure.
Because the girl was again working for the show, is my assumption. Because, you know, if the girl was unaware that they were being Cyrano de Bergerac and then filmed while they invited a random man into their,
that even work?
That's the part where it gets weird, man.
Maybe you could be told it's a dating show where if the person does good enough, they'll ask this at the end or something like that. Or they're going to ask this at the end, and maybe that's all they knew. I don't know. But
I don't know. I have to assume that the woman worked for the show. Like, that's the only thing that makes it, like, as uncreepy as possible, because otherwise it was a cameraman filming a woman's house from down the street as she invited a random man into her house, essentially. Which just feels...
There's no rules that reality TV has to be reality. That's
so true.
You can just do whatever you want. It's TV. Totally make the whole thing fake and scripted if you want to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, all reality TV is like,
sure,
pretty much fake
edited
at this point.
Yeah, very specifically. Real quick. Shiny Dog says, dude, WTF, we are back in the Swan era, except people are now acting like it's self-love. It's weird when it's like a game show for like other people's entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all for like, if people want to get plastic surgery, go wild. But whatever, if it makes you happy, knock yourself out. I don't care. But yeah, the reality show aspect is really strange, and like leaning into people's like insecurities. Like,
yeah,
they would go in front of these doctors, and the doctors would be like, you really need this and this and this, and they'd be like, okay, like that'd be part of it. Like, yikes.
And the other reality show, by the way, that I saw from when I was like 12 that I would never, like, I'm glad this show doesn't exist, because I would just be afraid to be on it, is like they would put hidden cameras in people's cars, and then just like the episode was like, here's them singing in their car when they think they're alone. And I'm like,
what kind of reality show is that?
That's like, for me, I was like, if I ever found out my fucking, because like they'd always be like, and this is, hey Shauna, you've been singing in the car all day, guess what, your friend Terry put a recorder in your car, we've recorded a whole episode of you singing in the car. I would have been like, fuck you, dude, that sucks.
There's got to be like a, also here's $1,000, can we use this please?
I have to assume, right?
You could just be like, no, you have to sign a release.
I remember in the one episode I did see, the person who was singing got into a fender bender at one point during the episode, and they were like, oh, she's a bad driver. And it's like, what? We can't even see who, like, what they're driving to from, or we see them singing. And to be fair, you probably shouldn't sing in the car a whole lot, because it is distracted driving. You do drive worse when you're singing in the car.
I sing in the car. I'm a bad driver.
Twitch is a new reality TV. Shiny Doggy says, no, I'll get canceled, but I get jump scared in LA grocery stores, often from faces. and then she says, no, they saw me flick boogers out the window, which would also totally, like, reminds me, the one episode I saw, the dude was like scratching his crotch, and then the camera guy's like, hey, maybe get some ointment. And that's like the narrator of the show.
Rude.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this fucking...
You never know how it's going to be edited, too, once you agree to be on it.
Absolutely.
You're like, yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Well, I mean, the way the episode... Again, reality shoot TV, could all be fake, but the episodes would end with, like, the person in the car finding out they've been recorded for the whole day. I'd be so pissed.
Jonathan, we caught you reciting your manifesto while driving the car.
Jonathan!
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez. Jonathan, are you sure that you want to post that fan fiction you wrote at the stoplights?
Oh, that's such a, like... It's funny how reality TV is really based around, like, how much entertainment can we create out of $0, basically. And that's, like, the most, like, egregious version of it I've heard. They pay for a camera that they put in someone's car and then edit it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was, like, a shitty camera, too. So, like, they're barely paying fucking money. I remember seeing that and just being like, I hope this show doesn't exist when I'm old enough to drive.
I have to check my car for cameras every time I get in.
Yeah. So yeah, I just remember.
And there's always those shows where it's like they put it on like Dateline or something, so it's like they try to make it seem classier than it is, but it's like what would you do, where they like put something horrible in front of you and then
I fucking hate that show so much.
If you don't decide to get like intervene in a fight, they come up and they're like, "What? Why are you a bad person for not going and fist fighting this man on the street?
Why didn't you risk your life?
People have guns, dude.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna confront anyone. People have guns. They're crazy.
Like if all I'm gonna do is make, like, I remember some of the situations are like, watch this mom hit her kid in this grocery store, and it's like, first of all, like if I yell at that mom, she's gonna go home and hit her kid more. Like that's all that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna do anything good.
Sure.
So,
Shiny Doggy says, "I love the comedy Bang Bang Tisk Tisk." Yeah, that's great.
That's fantastic.
Have you ever seen that one, Ian, from the TV show?
Yeah, I've seen every episode of the TV show.
Attaboy. Tisk tisk.
Yeah. I like the that's like the Stephen Colbert used to do, like that tip of the hat, wag of the finger sort of thing. That was like the exact that was like the same segment. But I think Comedy Bang Bang and Colbert were both making fun of somebody else.
They were. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I do love Comedy Bang Bang. Did you ever read Stephen Colbert's book? I've read one of his books. I have I Am America and So Can You from like back in his Colbert days, and I did read that. I also read the Jon Stewart book that came out like around the same time. I was a big Daily Show fan back in the day.
Belbo Rockets here. Says, hey. Oops, I forgot. Ew, what's this? Wrestling.
Wrestlemania. Ooh, I gotta read the John Daly one. Yeah, read the John Daly book. It's good. It's very, I mean, I'm sure it's very out of date by now. I'm sure a lot of the jokes are either much more pertinent or are, you're like, wow, can't believe we used to be worried about that shit. But I remember there being a funny testicle shrinkage joke about the Statue of David and the Rolling Stones. I remember that being in the book. And the Colbert book was funny. Yeah, it's very. I remember that a very specific joke from that book. The Colbert book was really funny because they'd end every chapter with like lessons for your class, and they were all like ridiculous. Like, you know, the way that the Colbert show was, the Colbert Report was like an obvious like parody of right wing politics and stuff like that.
That was a great show.
Good show, very good show. You know, Colbert, like, good for him for getting to do like late night. I'm sure it's a much easier. I don't know if it's a much easier gig. Doing a daily show or nightly show just sounds like an awful work schedule.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's easier, but you know, I'm sure it's nice to do something different.
It's nice to be himself instead of a character. I'm sure.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But it's also not as funny.
Right. Nor do I think it's, you know, supposed to be. I think it's more like to be like a talk show, you know.
Yeah, it's absolutely going for a different audience. It's weird though, because I do feel like the late night format is so dated. I don't know who watches late night television anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to like Conan, but that was almost like more of like a sketch show.
Yeah,
I mean, they would still do the talk shows, but it was, and I liked him as a like interviewer and everything. But
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, the show was a lot more like kind of
bits
off the normal like template that all the other shows do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That made it fun.
But like, I feel like
it also used to be a lot more unhinged when I was a kid. It's like weird characters and shit, and all these like sketches and bits and stuff, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I loved Masturbating Bear. I thought that was a fun character. The fact that there was a character named Masturbating Bear kind of tells you what you need to know.
It does. Z-Newt says, my dude, you're presenting in a late night shit format, just structured as a drawing chat show.
Yeah, I'm doing this shit daily. This shit's once a week, buddy. For 2 hours. And we do no prep.
We should do like what Jimmy Fallon does and like play like, today we're gonna play Connect 4 with Dwayne The Rock Johnson or something stupid like that.
Hey, what if we did carpool karaoke? Even though that's a James Corden thing, I think. I feel like Jimmy Fallon probably did that shit too.
Probably. I don't know. I mean, people like it, so whatever. Yeah. Whatever.
Apparently Twitch has... Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead. You were more dialed into whatever you were going to read. I had just looked over and started saying shit.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Let's see. What do people say? Cable TV seems like an old idea to me. Yeah, but it's kind of like we're kind of like going back to it now with all everything's separated into like their own platforms, and now they're all recombining.
Yeah,
and it's like it's just turning back into cable.
Just cable all over again. But you know, now instead of buying like a cable package and then like, you know, you get like 800 channels and Fox News gets like a cut. It's like now you just pay for, you know,
can kind of pick a little bit more.
And then Fox News gets a cut.
Usually cancel immediately, you know? Yeah. That's also a thing. That wasn't the case before, really. Apparently, Twitch has more viewers than YouTube, and YouTube has had more viewers than cable for a while. I believe that. I mean, people are online more than they are, like, sitting down to watch TV at night. Excuse me. At night.
I would argue that YouTube definitely has more content I'm interested in than fucking television. Like television, there's like some scripted TV shows, and then what? Or on YouTube, I can get like people talking about the finer points of what class build in Diablo 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can get a very specific TV show.
Yeah.
You can Google what show you want to watch.
Exactly.
Or search it, I mean.
And guess what? The fucking channel only gets, like, the show gets canceled when the person who makes it decides to stop. Not when the fucking network is like, yeah, you only made us like $5 million. That's
a good point.
Which is why, like, honestly, like, YouTube's, I mean, the thing is, unfortunately, none of them are perfect. Like, YouTube is great, but, you know, the payment structure is awful. And, you know, you get demonetized on a whim sometimes.
Right.
TV shows, you get canceled on a whim.
It's true.
Streaming services, you will get canceled.
That's true. In a different way.
In a different way. There was that reboot show on Hulu that I ended up really liking, and I just found out like a couple weeks ago.
They got canceled?
They got canceled. Not getting renewed.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn. I haven't watched it, but I know you liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot. And yeah, turns out not getting renewed. And I'm like, okay, but like I watched it. I talked to at least 3 friends who watched it. Like the point of the fun part that streaming brought was like, hey, maybe we don't need to cancel all these shows, but because they're all just throwing their money at like bullshit, everything gets canceled. I don't know. We've already talked about this.
Right. Shiny Doggy says, did you guys get magazines for PlayStation cheat codes? Yes.
I did, yes. That. And demo discs.
I also bought the little and demo disc. And then I also would like go to like the book fairs and buy like cheat code books.
Oh, fun. I would buy a Prima strategy guide if I was like fucking stuck in a game, you know? Like I've bought 2 Prima guides I think in my entire life. One of them was Jet Force Gemini, and I don't remember the other one. And I bought the one for Jet Force Gemini because at some point you have to just collect, there's like a bunch of like teddy bears throughout the game that you have to rescue. And at some point the game's like, hey, I know you've been having fun playing new levels and stuff like that, but now you got to go back to the previous 6 levels you played and get all the teddy bears. And this is the whole game.
What a fun game design.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
It sucks because the game was really fun, and then all of a sudden it just fucking stops, and it's like, oh, this sucks.
They ran out of ideas or money or both.
Something. But like the weird part was like, if you go back, you have like you can go back to the game is called Jet Force Gemini because there's 3 characters you can play as, like a brother, a sister, and a dog. But like the game starts with them all separated, and then you eventually get them to all meet up at like some weird temple, and then that's when you have to go and like each character has like 3 levels, and then they all meet up at a temple, and then the game says go rescue all these teddy bears in the last 6 or 7 levels that you played. And then like because you have these different characters, other doors in the levels that were previously inaccessible have unlocked. So then it's like, it's cool that you're going to these previously inaccessible places, but now every level is a maze. And also, by the way, I gotta rescue all these fucking teddy bears. It's just like, why would you do this?
Sounds less fun.
So much fun. But yeah, so I've been considering like one of these days I should just stream Jet Force Gemini and try and beat it on stream.
Oh god, you were just like going over how unfun it is, and now you're like, I should play that again.
Yeah, but the endurance games are the ones people shell out money for. People like if you're stuck on a game for a very long time, that's first of all more streaming you have to do to get through that game. People love to watch a person suffer on Twitch. You know, it'd be good, I think, for stats.
That's fair. I just don't like to put myself through it.
It's a video. I mean, I've you know, I used to do raft guiding and stuff like that, and I almost got hypothermia and shit a couple times. I'd rather stream the game on Twitch.
Sure. If it's actually bringing in enough money, then yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. I don't think I'll bring in money.
I'll collect those teddy bears.
Yeah. Either way, I'd rather play a game on Twitch than do the rafting shit. At least getting hypothermia. That I would rather play the games on Twitch, even if I wasn't getting paid.
Bubble Rocket says, I'd buy the Primas. I have no shame. I'm shit at puzzles, and getting stuck is stress I simply don't need when I'm trying to find a game. Yeah, I don't know. Some certain games, if it's just like, I kind of blame it on, obviously part of it could be me, but also like I blame it a little bit on the design. If at a certain point I'm just like, I'm still not figuring this out, I'll look things up sometimes just because I'm like, it's supposed to be fun. I'm not here to, there's no motivator for me to spend endless time trying to solve this.
It's actually when I first started playing Jet Force Gemini, that was before people had like written strategy guides for every game that existed. Which when you're with the Prima company, when the internet fucking starts getting popular, you must be just like fuck.
I'm sure there's a lot of companies that lost their their whole gimmick when the internet became a thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, totally. They're done for when that happens.
And I kind of miss having a Prima strategy guide in my hands. There's like, they would have like fun illustrations. They'd really do up the books. So it's like, it wasn't like you were just getting like, a sheet of instructions. It was kind of like you were getting like this whole kind of nice art book. Like I liked the presentation.
That's true.
But Jet Force
because you couldn't just look it up. Like it was something like you found like a treasure map. Like it was like your only way to solve this was in your hands. Like
Yeah, like when I first started playing Jet Force Gemini, we did not have the Prima guide for it, and the internet barely existed. I actually remember I got stuck on this zombie level in the game. It's like the 5th level in the game, and there's like this one trap door you have to find behind like a building and blow it open with a rocket launcher. I remember being stuck on that for like months. And then suddenly one day somebody sent like an email that had a link to like a website that had the answer. Like I forget who sent me the email, but it had a link to just a text document that told you what to do in the level. And I was like, fucking finally. And I did it, and I beat it, and I was so excited. I told everybody, and my dad was like, you shouldn't be opening strange links in emails. And I was like, Dad, I fucking got further in the game, okay?
Don't take this away from me, Dad.
But yeah, that was back in the days where you couldn't just look shit up. Like you either had to figure it out, or you had to get a Prima, or have a weird person email you the answer, I guess.
There you go. And that's why I open all my spam emails. I'm hoping they'll help me beat some video games I'm stuck at.
Yeah, one of these days my Nigerian prince will come.
I'm just a princess waiting for his Nigerian prince.
That's right. Balbo Rocka says Majora's Mask is so hard with no Prima's guide, and I used to feel the same way. Whenever I played Majora's Mask when I was a kid, I would always have the Prima guide because it just felt like you needed it because there was all those masks you had to get. But the most recent time I played Majora's Mask, like, the Bomber's Notebook tells you everything you need. They tell you where to go. They tell you when to be there. The Bomber's Note, like, I actually got all the masks.
There's an in-game Prima guide?
Essentially, yeah. There's like have you ever played Majora's Mask or?
I haven't.
Okay, so Majora's Mask is it's like a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, I think, or a prequel. Which is like one of the few times they've ever done that, like at least having like a direct continuation. But your character like meets this kid. He's like a weird child of the forest. And the kid plays a song on a magical flute, and then the Earth gets that face, and it's going to crash to Earth within 3 days. And then like the point of the game is like you collect masks by like solving these like mysteries and like side quests for everyone in like this really tiny like open world essentially.
Okay.
And it's really fun. It's actually one of my favorite Zelda games. I think I might like it more than Ocarina of Time because its structure is so unique. Because if you hit the end of that 3 days, you either gotta watch the moon crash and burn into the earth and kill everybody, or you gotta play a song and start back to day 1. But when you do that, you've reset all of your progress except for like certain things like masks, or if you have deposited money into the bank, that money stays there. It's really fun.
It's kind of like an early rogue.
It is. It's actually
Zelda.
It's very roguelite. Now that you mention it, I actually hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah. And so, you know, you had to like solve all these mysteries and like side quests to get these masks that give you different powers. And if you get all of the masks, you get the final mask, which then makes the boss fight like you tap the button 3 times and he's dead. And for the longest time, I thought you just had to have a strategy guide to get all those masks because like there's like 40 masks in the game, and it's like a bunch of different side quests. But you like meet these kids in the very first quest of the game while you're still like kind of getting tutorialized and everything, and they give you a notebook that has like these little markings and shit in it, and you're supposed to kind of use that, and like that notebook gives you everything you need. It tells you everything. It tells you where to go. It tells you where to be. It tells you what you gotta do. Sometimes you got to figure out what you got to do first, but then it'll get added to your notebook so that when you reset time, because everyone's always on the same schedule too. Like there's people who are like, everyone's got a schedule in the game. So like one character, like the first day, they'll go to this inn and like make a donation to this person or whatever. And then like the second day, they go to this shop over here. And then the third day, the guy might go to a secret hideout because like things have gotten really bad in his storyline. It's a lot of fun. I love the game. And it was really cathartic to play it again as an adult. Like I played it, I want to say 7 years ago. It was not very, very recent, but I was definitely an adult of like 25 years or older or something like that, maybe less. But I remember playing it and getting all the masks, no guide, nothing, just being, it was kind of like a cathartic moment to be like, oh, so you fucking can. You can do it.
Double Rocket says, I like Majora's Mask still. I get the same emotional catharsis from it that I got from Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, I will say Majora's Mask, I'm not sure what it is about it, but it does have this really cathartic ending, I want to say. Like beating that game, I think because of like the constant ticking clock and the fact that you can like look up and there's just a giant like evil scary face that's like, you can actually like, if you look at the face, you can see the moon getting closer every second. And what's up?
There's some channel point spending going on.
Oh boy.
We're not allowed to use the word, this will be the last, I.
Okay.
Which is a very hard one.
I'm gonna have to get a timer going.
Supposed to draw Willem Dafoe and, which I don't know if there's time, maybe. The show's almost over. And
we'll get a quick one.
10. We don't have time, Ian. Fuck you.
Oh, jeez.
I hate you.
Oh.
We're supposed to pretend to have an argument.
Oh, right. Well, did they say
what me feel bad?
Did they say what we're supposed to have an argument about, or because usually they?
No.
Okay. You can refer to yourself in first person. Yes, Ian will continue to refer to Ian's. Well, I gotta get the timer going. We're not banned from anything until we get the timer going. But my button for the timer is broken because I moved everything. Give me 1 sec.
Bella Rocket says they had no business making the moon that scary. Yeah, that face. I know. I mean, I haven't played the game and I know what that looked like.
I love that face. It's such a cool face. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got the timer going. Cool. All right, ready?
Shiny Doggy says, argue who can draw better or worse.
Ooh, okay.
I'm a way worse artist than you son of a bitch.
You think you're worse? Have you seen my turnbuckle, you dumb shit? By the way, we cannot say the word that's banned while we have this argument.
Right.
My drawings...
Oh, God, I just did the... Oh, God! Ah!
My drawings are so inferior to yours. Absolutely inferior.
Your drawings make my drawings look like good. Wait. I don't know. I've got I'm saying it over and over.
If my drawings were Logan Paul, your drawings would be not Logan Paul.
My drawings are like Logan Paul Suicide Forest. Your drawings are like Logan Paul wrestler.
Damn. My drawings are more like Logan Paul crypto scam. Your drawings are more like Logan Paul boxer.
Just to take a break from that, I think it's rude that we refer to either of our drawings as Logan Paul.
It's pretty. Yeah, our drawings are not Logan Paul. Our drawings are Willem Dafoe.
Oh yeah, which we need to get to.
Yeah, Ian is done with this drawing. How does Brandon feel about this drawing?
Brandon's done. Brandon's done.
Ian's done with this drawing as well.
Sorry for breaking the rules so many times.
Brandon over.
Has issues.
Starting it over. do we start the timer over if we fuck up, or do we? We
hadn't before, but we can do that. We can do that. Okay. That's fair. All right,
we'll just do it. We'll do it this one time.
Brandon used the word at least 10 times in that window, so it's only fair.
I feel like when I just used it like 3 times. Ian feels like when these word bans happen, he starts out very competitive and pretty on the money. But then eventually Ian falters and loses also.
Brandon thinks he'll be able to do it no problem, but then Brandon just straight up loses over and over and over immediately.
Especially with words like this and when and got banned, or was it like? I think it was like. Those words can be quite tough because such words are very they happen
words
subconsciously. They happen subconsciously. They're very used words, correct? That's a better way of putting it. That's a better way of putting it than Ian could have put it.
That's why Brandon put it that way.
Brandon put it that way. That's this episode's title, by the way, is Brandon put it that way. All right, I'm gonna draw Willem Dafoe. Damn it!
Brandon will also draw Willem Dafoe.
Start the timer over. Ian said the word. Hey, what is direct drawing mode on draw pile? Ian looks over at the HUD and there's Ian, damn it, I said it again. Ian doesn't think he's ever clicked that button.
Brandon hasn't clicked it either. Brandon doesn't know.
Direct drawing mode. I'm just gonna make. Damn it! Ian's just gonna make 2 lines.
The secret is just don't talk at all.
That is the secret, silent. But it feels like a cheat. Yeah, it's a cheat. That's Ian feels like he cheats when he does that. So, Brandon.
Yes, Ian.
Ian made a ChatGPT thing during Wrestlemania. You're aware of this.
He did. In fact, Brandon thinks we would have gotten to that, or we're planning on it.
Had we not, it's taken so long.
It's all right. But Brandon thinks you should still,
Yeah, I should read it.
Talk about the ones that came up.
Yeah, I'll post it in the. Damn it! I said it again.
You said it again.
Ian will post it in the bottom left of the screen, where Ian's Willem Dafoe will not get in the way. But then Ian will read what ChatGPT gave Ian. This word ban might have been our smartest thing to do. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves the word ban.
Not me.
Not Brandon.
Not Brandon.
Not Brandon. All right, Ian is posting this in the corner now. This is gonna fuck up my speech for the rest of my life.
This is one of those, like, if you do it too much, it just will stay that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian knows what you're talking about. It sounds like you guys are doing Christopher Walken impressions. Ian! Can't believe!
It does have that kind of cadence to it.
ChatGPT gave him some answers. They're funny. They're good answers. Ian's gonna post these in the corner at a good where the things won't pixelate it too much. Okay, Ian, when we were watching Wrestlemania, asked ChatGPT, "Hey ChatGPT, what are some ridiculous and outlandish wrestler personas?" And then ChatGPT came up with a list. ChatGPT, some very good ones. One of them, ChatGPT. So this is the list. Now some of these are repeats because ChatGPT is good, but it's a robot. It can only do so much.
It's a robot.
We're all very forgiving of ChatGPT. It's just trying its best.
It's a toddler.
It's a toddler. It's a little baby. It's only been alive for half of a year. But Ian is here to read to you these personas. So number 1, The corporate accountant. The corporate accountant is a wrestler who comes into the ring in a suit and tie, carrying a briefcase filled with spreadsheets and financial reports. He intimidates his opponents with his vast knowledge of tax codes and balance sheets. Which is a great wrestler persona. Ian thinks that's amazing.
Brandon likes like the idea of them like fighting somebody with a briefcase.
Yeah, that's good. By the way, Ian wants to say that Brandon came up with a great wrestler persona during Wrestlemania, and I would totally be cool with this persona being Ian's. I said shit.
Brandon doesn't remember which that was.
It was the dad.
That's right.
There was a wrestler persona that Brandon came up with, and Ian was very fond of, where it was a dad, and that was like his whole gimmick, was that he's just very dad. So like he's got like a barbecue grill, and he's got like a apron that says "Kiss Cook" on it. He's got like the mustache, telling dad jokes. There's other things we said. It would be fun. It'd be a lot of fun to kind of play
like
with
knee
that.
brace. You could have like some like white tennis shoes that are like stained green.
He should essentially dress like Stone Cold Steve Austin, just without
or
a lot of
John Cena.
True.
Now.
Yeah, John Cena now. So yeah, some more of these. Tiger Millionaire form from Steven Universe. Ian, who the fuck are you drawing? I'm drawing Willem Dafoe.
Oh yeah, Tiger Millionaire is that's a millionaire versus like the other one's like an accountant. I don't know if that's if you were saying they're similar or if you're just naming other personas.
That's a great question. Mime wrestler, a wrestler who doesn't speak and communicates only through miming. His signature wrestler moves include the invisible rope and the box, which I think it would be so fucking funny if there was a mime wrestler and like he would like do the rope thing and like as he would do the rope thing, like the other wrestlers would be like, whoa, oh, like getting actually affected by the mime shit.
Play along. So this mime has supernatural qualities.
Yes. Which would be so fucking funny. Like the box would be great. Like you put them in a box and then they're just like, be great.
Then I might start to think that wrestling's not real.
Yeah. And that's, I don't know, wrestling is seeming kind of fakey, guys. I also said it again. Wrestler number 3, the vegan warrior. This one's also, these are all pretty great. I mean, a wrestler who is strictly vegan and lectures his opponents about the benefits of plant-based eating before delivering a powerful broccoli-induced submission hold. I love it.
Has to be broccoli.
I just imagine he's like got like a big stock of, I said it again. Ian imagines he's got a big stock of broccoli and he's just chomping on it. And then he does like a Popeye thing and then puts him in like a fucking camel clutch or something like that.
The broccoli makes it powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, Brandon likes that.
Shit, we gotta start over. Brandon likes that. Brandon, how you feeling about your Willem Dafoe?
I think it looks... Shit! You trapped me.
Did we argue enough for the, Ian say stock and then say stock? What, do you want me to say stalk? Stalk? Stock. How do you say stock and stock, Brandon?
Let's see. Okay. I need, or Brandon needs to make it organic.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Forget I asked that. Forget I asked that. We'll bring it up in a moment. But like, forget I asked that. Damn it! Said it again.
On Wall Street, people buy and sell stocks. That's how I say it. Stock.
That's right. Stock.
And then if I was talking about like celery, I would say a stalk. Stock. That's how I'd say it.
It's the same. You're saying it the same.
No, one's like stalk, like maybe has like a W in it, and the other one's like stock, like ah versus aw.
Stock and stock?
Very close though. Stock and stalk. So one has it's slightly different, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying the same thing.
It's
up to the chat.
You know, it's
very similar.
It's slightly different. It's about as different as trying to think of a good comparison. It's I got nothing. It's the same to me. I feel like
Brandon doesn't think we actually made it to 3 minutes and 41 seconds, but
no, I actually just said but Ian's not gonna forget this time. But Ian imagines his Willem Dafoe doing like the Porky Pig thing where he's like beep 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 beep. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
Wow.
That's not a good Willem Dafoe.
I don't know if I could do a good. I mean, what? Yeah, I don't think I could do a good Willem Dafoe. Like, if I tried to do a Willem Dafoe voice, I said it again. Ian doesn't think people would be like, oh yeah, that's so fucking Willem Dafoe, dude. You nailed it.
It's a hard one, I think. Or maybe it's not, you know, for somebody who actually knows how to do voices.
I'm sure, like, yeah, if you...
A lot of distinctions to it.
I said it again. Ian is sure that if you were to take somebody who they're deeply invested in learning how to get good at impersonating specific celebrities, they could probably have a really solid Willem Dafoe in like a week.
What a way to spend your time.
I know. Damn it, I said it again. Ian knows. Ian remembers back in college. Ian has also talked about this on the podcast before, but you know, there was that time where Ian would be like, oh, I do voices. It's cool that I can do voices. And then Ian eventually realized that sometimes that's just fucking annoying and not so cool. And when was Ian really gonna have a good excuse to do a Christopher Walken? So,
on his DrawBomb show.
On his DrawBomb, that's right.
With hostages.
Yeah. You're the hostage, right? Is that what you're saying? You're my hostage?
Yeah, me in the chat.
Okay.
Because the Christopher Walken comes out whether anyone wants it or not.
Yeah, always. I mean, we made. That's how it always works. Is it you? I mean, we joked about it in Critter Cam, but if someone has a Christopher Walken and they want to show you, you're gonna hear it, buddy.
That's true.
I remember one of my neighbors back in the day in Philly. I got to know them, and damn it, I said it again. Ian got to know them back in the day in Philly, and they were actors. And the one day the guy was really drunk and was like, "Hey Ian, how do you think of my Christopher Walken?" And started doing like a Christopher Walken. And I mean, to be fair, he was also insanely drunk, but it wasn't that good. So Ian was like, "Please, man, don't do Walkens don't do a Walken for me. This is not gonna end well for anybody." But Ian did hear that Walken impression by the end of the night.
I have no doubt. Brandon had no doubts that he did.
Damn it, we got started over. Brandon.
Yes, Ian.
Does Brandon have anything he wants to plug?
Check out our social media. Our YouTube is great. Shorts updated twice a day. Our newest movie that we made is there.
That's correct.
Lots of content. Go there, enjoy, click the subscribe buttons, like buttons, helps us. Do the same on our other stuff. If you're, not saying go download or sign up for Twitter or some horrible mistake like that, but if you're a person that uses these things, give us a little love there if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Helps us out. And
please
post a bunch of stuff on it. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got at the moment.
Damn it, you said it again.
All Brandon's got. Doing plugs is really hard because you're just straight up talking about yourself.
Yeah, just talking about stuff that you're doing. But yeah, Ian doesn't have a whole lot to plug aside from what Brandon already said. Check out the YouTube channel. Check out the social media. Share the social media. Like the YouTubes. Click that thumbs up button. Engage with us on these platforms because these platforms are vicious and are like, people aren't engaging with you. And we'll be like, yeah, platform, no one knows we exist. And then the platforms will be like, must be they don't like you. And we'll be like, no platforms. People need to know we exist. But the platforms will like...
conclusion platform.
But the platforms just be like, people aren't watching you, they must not like you. So engage with us on these platforms so that platforms may respect us more as human beings. That's all I got. Damn it, I said it again.
Almost out, and you did it again. Real quick.
Double Rocket says, use your tags.
We use them tags.
We used to. I hashtag. Damn it. Ian hashtags the shit out of.
Double Rocket says we're not even trying anymore, and that is an absolute lie. Look at us just squirm and struggle.
That timer's still at 450. If that's not trying, Ian doesn't know what is.
Bella Rocket says Ian's Defoe looks like a grills guy. Like, oh, does it count if Brandon read a comment? Damn it. I think, yeah.
Wait, did you say I there?
Now I did.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Okay. If you read a comment, I think that we can make an exception for that, unless you are really on the ball. But apparently,
your Defoe kind of looks like a mask or something.
Yeah, it does. My Defoe is like 2 shades off from a Nixon mask.
That's true.
I am not a crook. Damn it, I said it as Nixon. Nixon said it.
Nixon said it, and then you said it.
Nixon said it, made me say it. Damn you, Nixon. You old racist bastard. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to plug. I still gotta figure out what's going on with that Kickstarter project, because I haven't gotten the book in the mail. I'm gonna talk to the guy. Ian's gonna talk to the guy and figure out what the dealio with that is. But otherwise, yeah, Dr. Catastrophe's Fantastical Menagerie. We put it up on YouTube. It's an hour long. It's probably my favorite thing we've done animation-wise with like this new VTuber stuff. In general, Ian thinks it's just fucking. Ian thinks it's just very funny and good and well done.
Came out good.
It came out really good. I'm very happy with it. Ian's very happy with it.
Brandon thinks so.
Ian's very excited to start uploading YouTube clips of that. Ian thinks they'll go over well. Not sure what else we could plug. There's not.
Brandon thinks that's it.
Ian thinks that's it too. So again, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Is that it?
Brandon thinks so.
All right. Check us out there, folks. It'd be a lot of fun. I don't think we're gonna get everyone. Yeah, thank you for watching. Ian doesn't think we're gonna get to the end of the timer because Ian said I a second ago. We're just gonna call it. We lost. Okay.
Brandon will continue to try after the camera ends. You'll just have to believe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bubba Rocket, Crazy Kyle, Leviathan Den, Z News, Shiny Doggy,
Zone Dog, Shiny Doggy. Captain Cheapy was in the chat.
Captain Cheapy. Wow. What a star-studded cast.
Z Nudes, Crazy Kyle, Shiny Doggy.
Appreciate you. Brandon sees that Zone Dog redeemed Hydrate, so
I did just I'm pretty sure I let a stock sounding gulp into the microphone.
Brandon thinks on that note, that's that.
That's that. I never...
Another episode of the book.
Ian never read all of the rest of his wrestlers, but it's been in the corner of the screen, folks. Fucking read it. It's a lot.
Bring them back next episode.
Yeah, we'll draw
some of them.
I might even ask it to make more, because you can just type again and a million times.
That idea.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Thanks for making fun of us. And catch you all on next time. I tried to come up with something clever that was bomb related, but I couldn't think of anything. So, bye.
Bye.